June 2026 is filled for Nintendo players. We've got Gothic RPGs, Alien Chaos, a football debut, a classic horror remake, a brand new Star Fox, and one of the most acclaimed JRPGs finally landing on Switch 2. Let's break down every single game you need to know about this month. The Necromancer's Tale is coming to Switch 2 on June 24th. You play as a minor noble in an alternate history 18th century, set around 1733 near Venice and the Adriatic Sea. The world is falling apart, demons are running rampant, and somehow a mysterious spellbook ends up in your hands. From there, you're dragged into the forbidden world of necromancy. The game gives you a fully voiced backstory at the start, where you shape your character's gender, background, and career path, military, academic, or diplomatic, and those choices ripple through the whole story. You don't just fight your way through this world, you negotiate, blackmail, seduce, coerce, and manipulate to survive. There's tactical turn-based combat where you fight alongside allies and your own undead minions against everything from human enemies to supernatural creatures. The game packs over 400,000 words of narrative and more than 180 NPCs to interact with. Police Simulator Patrol Officers. This one is for anyone who ever wondered what it's actually like to be a patrol cop. And I mean the full experience, not just the action movie version. Police Simulator Patrol Officers drops you into Brighton, a fictional American city, where you start out as a rookie officer doing the basics. We're talking parking tickets, checking expired license plates, flagging pedestrians who ignore traffic signals. It sounds low stakes, but the game is genuinely about building your career from the ground up. As you gain experience, you unlock bigger responsibilities, patrolling in a squad car, chasing down traffic offenders, handling accident scenes, and eventually tackling serious crimes like drug deals and violent incidents. The Switch 2 version has been specifically optimized for the console and includes the complete gameplay experience, plus updates that came to PC and other consoles over time. The 7th Guest Remake launched on June 4th, 2026, but the Nintendo Switch version got pushed to a later window in 2026, so keep it on your radar. Now, the 7th Guest is a straight-up legend in gaming history. It came out in 1993 and was one of the games that put CD-ROM gaming on the map. The remake rebuilds everything from the ground up. The story puts you inside Henry Stopp's mansion, a wealthy, eccentric toy maker who has invited 6 guests. Something is very wrong though, and a dark power lurks throughout the house. You explore the mansion room by room, solving increasingly difficult puzzles that are woven directly into the story and the mansion's lore. The original used flat 2D video sprites, but this remake uses volumetric video, real actors filmed in full 3D, placed inside the digital world, casting shadows and reflecting in surfaces. Every puzzle has been redesigned, and the environments shift and transform around you, using clever visual effects and optical illusions. eFootball Kickoff is the first time the series, which goes all the way back to Pro Evolution Soccer, has ever appeared on a Nintendo console. And it was built specifically for Switch 2, not ported from elsewhere. The game hits on June 3rd and is timed perfectly with major international football happening this summer in North America. Gameplay is built around 2 main modes at launch. World Tour lets you build your own club from scratch, compete in tournaments worldwide, and collect players from teams you beat, or spend coins to sign legends. Lionel Messi is available as an early purchase bonus, by the way. The International Cup mode lets you pick a national team and go for the ultimate prize. There's also a 6-a-side format that opens things up for quicker, higher-scoring games. The Switch 2 version uses Game Share, which means up to 4 people can play locally, even if only one person owns the game. Imagine Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but instead of a skateboard, you're riding a customized, gravity-defying train through a dystopian, neon-soaked Japan. That's Denshattack in a sentence. The world has collapsed. The ultra-rich sealed themselves inside air-purified domes, and everything outside has rebuilt itself under gang rule. You're out on the railways, flipping, grinding, and tricking your way through 50-plus levels across cities like Osaka and Tokyo, out into snowfields, volcanoes, and oceans. Mechanically, it's about chaining combos using the right stick for tricks similar in feel to Ollie Ollie World, while switching between tracks, grinding rails, and racking up massive point totals. You're not just going for scores either. You're working toward defeating the sinister Moraido Corporation and earning the respect of underground gangs across Japan. The boss fights escalate into absolute madness. Mecha magical girls, mechanical worms, moving castles. Destroy All Humans, Crypto the Alien is back on Nintendo hardware. This is the 2020 remake of the original 2005 PS2 game, now landing on Switch 2 on June 23rd, with a visual upgrade, 1440p support, richer environments, improved shaders, and denser worlds. The game is a third-person action-adventure set in 1950s America, and you play as the alien Crypto, sent to Earth to harvest human DNA. The tone is pure satirical absurdity. This is Cold War America, filtered through a B-movie alien invasion lens. Your toolkit includes psychokinesis to throw cows and cars at panicking humans, a jetpack for aerial chaos, and a selection of outrageous alien weapons. You can also hop into your flying saucer and lay waste to entire towns from above. There's no deep moral dilemma here. The whole point is causing absolute mayhem with a grin on your face. The game moves through multiple locations across America as you try to stay ahead of the government and the military while completing your mission. Unrailed 2 is one of those games that sounds simple until your friends are screaming and the train is on fire. This is a co-op game, local or online, where you and up to 7 other players have to keep a train moving by laying track ahead of it in real time. The train never stops. You're chopping trees, mining rocks, hauling materials, building bridges, and laying rail while the engine chugs forward and the chaos escalates. The sequel brings 6 new biomes, each with different terrain and obstacles, forests, deserts, snowfields, and adds daunting boss encounters that shake up the formula. There's now a story spread across branching paths, so different runs will take you through different environments and side quests. You can unlock upgrades for your character and your train as you go, and there's also a community maps feature for player-created content. The modes include Time, Sandbox, and Versus, covering both the frantic survival experience and more relaxed creative play. River City Saga: Journey to the West. Journey to the West is based on one of the 4 great classical novels of Chinese literature, the epic tale of Sun Wukong, Zhu Baji, Sha Wujing, and Tong Sanzong traveling to retrieve sacred texts. But here, every single main character is a version of KIYO, the brawler the series is built around. The result is this wild, comedic action-adventure that flips the legendary story into a beat-em-up roguelike. It's a solo experience where you grow stronger with each run by collecting secret skills from gods who appear as you progress through stages. There are over 80 different skills to find, and combining them in different ways changes how each run feels. You start as Sun Wukong, fast, agile, combo-focused, and unlock the power-heavy Zhu Baji and the long-range Sha Wujing as you push deeper into the story. Monopoly: Star Wars Heroes vs. Villains. The board is a custom Star Wars universe setup with iconic locations from across the whole saga, and the core Monopoly loop has been rebuilt around team-based competition. You play in 2 vs. 2 or 3 vs. 3 matches online or couch co-op, with each player picking a Star Wars character who brings a unique ability to the team. Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia play differently from Darth Vader or Darth Maul, and those ability combinations are a real strategic layer. There are dice battle mechanics and new Go events that can flip the game state mid-match. Cinematic moments play out as you land on themed spaces, which makes the board feel alive rather than static. It's not trying to replace Monopoly. It's trying to make it faster, more chaotic, and more Star Wars. For families or friend groups who want something familiar but with more tension and team strategy, this is a genuinely interesting twist on the formula. The Artifactory is shaping up to be one of the most fun and chaotic multiplayer games arriving on Nintendo Switch in June 2026. The game mixes cooperative party gameplay with factory management and crafting mechanics, creating a fast-paced experience where players must work together inside magical production lines filled with moving platforms, conveyor belts, traps, ghosts, and total chaos. Up to 4 players can gather resources, craft potions and enchanted equipment, organize deliveries, and complete orders before everything falls apart. The gameplay constantly pushes communication and teamwork as every level introduces new hazards and factory layouts that become harder to manage over time. Its colorful fantasy world and couch co-op focus give it the same addictive energy that makes party games so fun with friends and family. The Artifactory is scheduled to release on June 25th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. Drive Rally. This one is all about the 1990s golden age of rally racing. The mud, the trees, the perfectly timed co-driver shouts, and the pure arcade joy of sliding a car sideways at full speed. Drive Rally originally launched on PC in April 2025, and now it's coming to Switch, physically and digitally on June 18th. The game has over 600 kilometers of rally stages across 6 locations. Finnish snowfields, American deserts, and more, with 25 customizable cars spread across 3 classes. The handling is arcade first, easy to pick up, but learning to master the drift timing and pace notes takes real effort. Your co-driver isn't just background noise. They have personality and keep the energy up throughout each stage. There's a local party mode for up to 12 players, where everyone takes turns racing for leaderboard spots, which is a great party game format. Photo mode lets you grab shots of your car mid-slide for some genuinely beautiful scenery. Solarpunk. This is one of the most wishlisted upcoming games on Steam, nearly 1 million wishlists before launch, and it's a 2-person dev team that built the whole thing. Solarpunk is a relaxed survival crafting game set on floating islands high above the clouds, in a world where technology and nature coexist in harmony. There's no combat, no pressure timer, no survival meter eating away at you. You gather resources, construct your base, grow food, cook meals, craft gadgets, and explore distant islands using an airship you build yourself. The energy system is genuinely interesting. You set up solar panels and wind turbines to power your base, but weather affects how much energy you produce, so you actually have to think ahead and manage battery storage. Up to 4 players can explore and build together in co-op, though each player has their own airship and inventory, giving everyone real agency. KIYO, Bunny Tyranny, is one of the most interesting indie games arriving in June 2026, thanks to its stylish cyberpunk atmosphere and stealth-focused gameplay. Set inside the futuristic Rabbit Hole City, the game follows KIYO, a feline ex-predator trying to survive in a society ruled by technologically obsessed bunnies. The gameplay combines stealth, platforming, exploration, and fast movement mechanics as players sneak through heavily guarded areas, hide in dynamic shadows, solve environmental puzzles, and escape dangerous enemies using acrobatic traversal tools like grappling movement and wall navigation. Its colorful pixel art style, mixed with neon lighting, gives the world a strong synthwave feeling, while the semi-open environments encourage exploration and experimentation. The dark satirical tone and unique setting help the game stand out among upcoming indie releases. KIYO, Bunny Tyranny launches on June 25, 2026 for Nintendo Switch. Wanderstop comes to Switch and Switch 2 on June 23rd, and this is genuinely one of the most interesting games on the list. It's a cozy tea shop management game, but made by a team that includes Davey Wreden, who created The Stanley Parable, Carla Zamonja, co-creator of Gone Home, and C418, the composer behind Minecraft's soundtrack. That lineup tells you this isn't just a relaxing afternoon game. It has something to say. You play as Alta, a competitive fighter who was once among the best in the world, now forced to tend a tea shop in a magical forest. Alta doesn't want to be there. She's restless, frustrated, and determined to get back to fighting. The tension between who she was and where she is now runs through everything. Mechanically, you're growing ingredients on a hex grid, brewing tea in an unusual contraption, serving travelers who pass through, and listening to their stories to understand what kind of tea they need. Arashi Gaiden is a compact, fast-moving game at $9.99 that takes turn-based action in a direction you probably haven't seen before. You play as Shinji Arashi, a ninja who gets hired by his former master to recover 3 powerful Eastern relics stolen by a criminal organization called the Matilla. This group has teamed up with a rival ninja clan and is taking over Japan's criminal underworld. The combat is turn-based but frantic. It's described as dash and slash style, meaning you're making quick, tactical decisions about movement and attacks, rather than sitting back and thinking slowly. Shinji's toolkit includes blade strikes, shurikens, teleportation, and paralyzing chains, so each encounter gives you options beyond just attacking. The game is set in the same universe as Pocket Bravery and expands the Japanese side of that story. The pixel art is handmade and uses diverse Japanese-themed environments across the stages. This one is a big deal for strategy game fans and R-Type veterans alike. R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos bundles together remakes of both classic PSP strategy games rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5. And it's the first time R-Type Tactics 2 has ever been released in the West. The collection puts a turn-based strategy spin on the R-Type universe, where you manage fleets of spacecraft and deploy units across multiple campaigns. The story follows the Space Corps fighting the Bido Empire, an alien force trying to wipe out humanity. But the campaigns flip the script. You can also play as the Bido themselves. Hundreds of ships, dozens of levels, branching missions, and a brand new post-game story called Cosmos round out the content. These games originally came out on PSP between 2007 and 2009 and never made the jump to modern hardware until now. For longtime fans, this is the version that finally does them justice. Dark Scrolls. From Doinksoft, the studio behind Gato Roboto and Gunbrella, and published by Devolver Digital, Dark Scrolls is a fantasy-themed action platformer with roguelite progression and shooter-style combat, launching June 22nd after a short delay from its original May date. The game gives you 9 playable characters: a warrior who throws axes, a mage who slings spells, a thief with knives, a dog, an alien, and yes, a rat that plays saxophone. Each character has their own unique abilities, personal side objectives, and customizable trinkets that change how they play. Levels are procedurally generated, but built from handcrafted rooms, so runs feel fresh without losing their intentional design. The combat blends platforming with shoot-'em-up chaos. You're moving constantly while hurling weapons at waves of bizarre enemies. Coins from runs unlock new upgrades, powerful abilities, and helpful allies that stack across your playtime. Star Fox launches exclusively on Switch 2 on June 25th, nearly a decade after the last entry in the series. This is a full remake of Star Fox 64, rebuilt from the ground up. New character models, fully orchestrated soundtrack, voiced cutscenes, and a complete visual overhaul. The story is the same iconic setup. The maniacal scientist Andros is trying to seize control of the Lilat star system, and Fox McCloud and his crew are the only ones who can stop him. You're in your R-Wing, flying through the system planet by planet, doing barrel rolls, locking on targets, and navigating branching route choices that determine which worlds you visit and which ending you reach. The timing of the announcement just weeks after Fox McCloud appeared in the Super Mario Galaxy movie wasn't accidental. Nintendo is clearly trying to reintroduce the character to a wider audience. This is the one that feels like it could be the sleeper hit of the summer. Square Enix and Team Asano, the team behind Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default, are releasing their first ever action RPG on June 18th. And it's stunning. The HD 2D visual style that the studio is known for is back, but this time you're not in a turn-based battle system. Elliot is a full, real-time action game with a classic Zelda-style feel. You play as Elliot, an adventurer in the kingdom of Huther, humanity's last safe city, protected by a magic barrier in a continent overrun by beast tribes. Elliot and his fairy companion Faye discover ruins outside the kingdom, and their investigation takes them across not just the continent, but the entire 1,000-year history of the world, traveling through 4 different ages. Combat uses a sword for quick and charged attacks, a bow for ranged situations, bombs for crowds, and a scythe for sweeping area damage. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth won over 40 Game of the Year awards when it originally released on PS5 in 2024. And now it's been brought to Nintendo's hardware with full DLSS support. The story picks up immediately after Remake Cloud and his crew escape Midgar and set out across a vast, open-feeling world in pursuit of Sephiroth. The world outside Midgar is huge and varied, spanning multiple distinct biomes: grasslands, jungles, deserts, mountain ranges. Each region has its own local culture, side quests, and activities. The combat is the real-time ATB system from Remake, refined and expanded. Every party member has their own unique moveset and special abilities, and switching between them on the fly is key to handling tougher fights. Beyond the main story, the game is packed with content. The Queen's Blood card game has its own deep competitive meta. There's a piano minigame where you play actual songs, and dozens of side quests build out the world's characters in meaningful ways. 20 games across the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 hitting in June 2026. Drop a comment letting us know which ones you're picking up, and if you want more Nintendo coverage, you know what to do. See you in the next one.